good ways of teaching your players how to play man-to-man. Okay, so I'm going to go through the basics, and hopefully there's some things there that help you with your coaching, and then look at some more complicated aspects of the game. Firstly, when we talk about man-to-man defence, you can either be guarding a player who has the ball or a player who doesn't have the ball. We're going to start off at looking at guarding a player who has the ball, what we refer to as on-ball defence, and some of the things that as coaches are good to be teaching players. So give me my first two demonstrators out here. Let's go quick. Bring a ball, two boys. One ball. What's your name? Mac? Christian? Mac and Christian. All right, I think I can remember that. All right, Christian up there with the ball. Mac, go up there and guard him. Okay, so you're going this way, Christian. You're going that way, all right. So man-to-man defence can be full court, so you can pick up, so if Mac just goes in and lays the ball up and makes a layup, go in and make a layup for us, mate. Beautiful. And now Christian's team's bringing the ball up and I'm passing it in, throw it here. You're going to guard him. So if he was picking him up straight away, that'd be full court man-to-man defence. He's trying to apply pressure straight away. Mac, go back and stand at the centre line now. I inbound it. He's going to wait for him until he gets the ball down the floor. That would be a half-court pickup. He could wait for him back at the three-point line if he wanted to, and that would be a quarter-court pickup. So you as a coach can decide where you want to pick up. You don't have to play full-court man-to-man. You don't have to play half-court. You might have a really small, quick, athletic team. Full-court man-to-man might be a good thing for you. If you've got a bit of a slower team, bigger guys, you might want to play a quarter-court pickup. So that's entirely up to you. In a full-court man-to-man situation, come back here, boys. Let's just say, Christian, you got the ball, Mac, you're guarding him. Things to talk about from a coaching point of view. You can be emphasising pressure, where Christian gets up and where Mac gets up and plays him really closely and is going to try and force him into making an error when he's bringing the ball up the floor. Or you might decide you might want to play more a channeling situation where you're off him and trying to push him to one side of the floor or the other. Okay? You might also decide you're going to try and push him onto his non-preferred hand. That might be a tactic. So are you right-handed like everybody else? Okay, so he might come out and guard him like this and push him onto his left hand. Okay, so again, up to you. One of the more common things that occurs in a full-court man-to-man scenario, because the offence has a long way and a lot of space that they can use, often when we're up trying to pressure the ball, the offence can get past the defender. All right, one of the things that from a footwork perspective that you want to teach players is to slide with their player. Now if the player gets past them, to turn and run and get in front, and then get in front of him, get in front, and then get back down to a on-ball stance again. So we call that just slide, run, slide. Okay, and the emphasis is to try and get Christian here handling and moving at a speed that he's a little bit uncomfortable with. That would be what you'd be trying to do if you're trying to play full court man-to-man defence. Again, if you're playing half court and Mac's back down here waiting for him to bring in the ball at the floor, you're not interested in trying to force mistakes. You're more interested in just trying to make sure they can't get a high percentage shot when they get down the other end of the floor. Okay? All right, turn around and face this basket here, Christian. Mac, you're on defence here. When we talk about defending in the quarter court, so now you're going this way, okay? Again, on-ball defence. If he's just caught the ball, there's three things that he can do. He can pass it, he can dribble it, or he can shoot it. Okay, often referred to as a triple threat. To be a good on-ball defender, what this player has to be able to do is be ready to guard those three things. Okay, and most coaches would agree, I think, that you defend the pass and the shot by carrying your hands and having your hands in a position where you can either contest a shot or deflect a pass. How's that, mate? Is that good for you? Yep, okay. And you defend the dribble by being in a good defensive stance, able to react to any forward movement that he tries to make. Now, again, as a coach, you might have different philosophies about how you want your players to stand here, a general guide would be with their bum facing the basket. If their bum's facing the basket, generally they're in the right position. Okay? From an on-ball perspective, if you want to develop good basketball players, they should be able to guard somebody close enough to be able to reach out and touch the ball. Okay? So if you can drill into your players and practice enabling them to be good on-ball defenders, not someone who stands back here like this, okay, which isn't really guarding the player at all, but someone who can come up and play close to the ball and still be able to maintain a position of staying between him and the basket, then that's a beautiful thing that you're teaching players. Having picked state teams, national teams, NBL professional players, that's a really important thing that players have to be able to do, is guard somebody one-on-one. Okay, that's usually one of those things that will get a player over the line in a selection process. So what he's trying to do here is play close enough to touch the ball and be ready to move, so when Christian tries to attack the basket, he can maintain a chest-to-chest relationship with the player that he's guarding. Okay, and I think, I coach at a high school now, so I coach, year 7s to year 12s. What I find the instinct that most kids have, just start walking that way, mate, is they turn and end up running sideways with a player that they're guarding. Okay, come back. Whereas if you can get players to maintain that chest-to-chest relationship, start walking again, where he can slide and stay between his player and the basket, again, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, and what you should be striving to get to when you talk about court-to-court, man-to-man defence. Okay, so how do you get to that point? Being in a stance, that is with their knees bent, is really important, and being able to move quickly to their left or to their right obviously is what enables them to be able to maintain this chest-to-chest position. A good drill that I've found that you can use is just stand on those two white lines there. Okay, come and stand in front of him here, Christian, get that ball now. Okay, so forgetting the fact that the basket's there, like on any court we could use these two lines here. So anywhere you've got a 90-degree angle is a good situation to practice this drill here. So it's not about the ring right now, it's about if Christian was to try and get past him this way and Matt could slide along that line, that would be the right kind of line that you'd want players to slide on to maintain this chest-to-chest relationship. Same thing if he went this way here, if he could just slide on that line, then he'd be in pretty good position. So this drill, to start off with, you firstly just have the players starting facing each other, all right? And then, Christian, what you're going to do is either point to your left or point to your right, and you're going to quickly slide in that direction, all right, along that line or this line. Okay, so get in a stance, get ready. All right, when you're ready, just point. Quick, okay, all right, come back again. Just 2 hard slides, I want. And again, in a stance, ready. That's it, good, come back. Good, switch it over. Okay, so you got defence now, yep. In a stance. So remember, get on the line, 1 foot on each line. Okay, facing him, ready to go. Quick, quick, that's it, come back again. Just 2 hard slides. Bounce. Good, come back. Now, we looked at this quite a bit at the AIS. How about the way, mate, on you now? Take that ball. We looked at this quite a bit when I was at the AIS, and we found that our players moved quicker if they used like a boxer's footwork. If they just bounced a little bit and then on the push slid from that bounce, we found a definite improvement in the ability of our players to maintain a chest-to-chest relationship. Most players will come up and just stand like this, okay, where they're not going to be as quick. But if they just bounce a little bit, okay, and push off 2 feet, we found a significant improvement in their speed. So I want you to do that now, Mac. Just bounce a little bit in a stance. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Not you. Not you, you knucklehead. Guess that ball. So you're still pointing in one direction or the other. Stop. So, Mac, look at me. Just bounce a little bit. Ready? Go, quick. That's it, good. Come back. Bounce. Quick. That's it, good. Now, believe me, to be quick over this distance, from about here to there in basketball, is really important. All right, that's much more important than being quick from here to the other end of the floor. All right, if you can be quick over this short distance, it really helps be a good on-ball defender. And the way you get quick is practice being quick. Okay, so drills like this where you're really emphasising speed and a quick takeoff, over time you'll find that players will get quicker. Now, another thing that we found, just hop out the way there, mate. Another thing that we found with our players was that we teach players to show their hands all the time, but as we looked at our best on-ball defenders, what they tended to do was use their hands just a little bit. Okay, so if I'm guarding you, just come a bit closer, Christian, and just when I say go this way, they tended, just go that way, they tended to just have a little push with that little inside arm as they started to move. So just watch again. This time go that way when I say go. When I say go, I'm old. All right, okay, go. So just a little push with that inside arm to help lever off their forward momentum made a difference. Now, I'm not saying put two hands on like this, okay? I'm not saying put one hand on like this. What I'm saying is if you use the back of your hand and you're close to the person that's guarding you, if you can hit them on the front of their hip, just start to walk slowly, mate, hit them on their hip and bounce off, it really makes a big difference to helping that person maintain a defensive position. Now, you might have a moral issue with that, okay? I don't. What I found as players move up levels of play, certainly at the pro level, players are using their hands all the time. It's what they can get away with. And remember, it's only a foul when the referee calls a foul. Okay, that's when it's a foul. So again, I found with the better defenders, they're always just using their hands a little bit. So you decide morally whether you agree with that or not. All right, the progression of this drill now though is you've got the ball now, Mac, you're on defence. Okay, you're in a stance. Now you've got one dribble to try and get both your feet over either that white line or that white line. You've got to slide along the line and stop him from crossing that line. All right, whenever you're ready, one dribble. Okay, again, you've got to get both feet over the line. Try again. So, Mac, you start with the ball. When you're ready, you give it to him. You're back about a metre from the line. All right. In the stance. Bounce, Mac, bounce, Mac, bounce, Mac. That's it. Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent defence. All right, come back, do it again. Can you get past him, Christian, or not? You reckon you can? Here we go. All right, good job. Sliding. All right, switch it over. In a stance. Bounce, that's it. Good, bend your knees. You've got to get past him one drill. Both feet over that white line or that white line. Ready? Go. Okay, not bad. Try again. Bounce, bounce. Quick, quick, quick. All right, good sliding. And again, obviously the hands aren't happening how I'd like, but that would be one of the things that you would teach. And then the next progression is to add two bounces and see if they can get over the line. So the whole drill, the whole emphasis of the drill is on that initial start and trying to maintain a chest-to-chest relationship with the person that's got the ball. Okay? So, and that's the number one thing of on-ball defence. Now, as I said at the start, they can pass it, dribble it or shoot it, but if they start here, Mac, Christian, guard him, just take two bounces over there and then pick it up. Okay, now he can't dribble it. All he can do now is pass and shoot it. So you don't need to worry about playing touch distance away now. Now you can come up and guard the player as close as you like and put them under all sorts of pressure. Okay, so if they haven't used their dribble, you need to be ready to defend the dribble by keeping that touch distance away. If they have used their dribble, then you can play closer to them. The last part of on-ball defence is if Mac, so get ready to guard him, Christian, guard the ball, just stay right there, guard him, is if he passes the ball to me, throw it to me, is jump into the ball. So Christian jumps the ball into a good offensive, defensive stance. So back to on-ball, go, throw it to me, jump to the ball, good off-ball stance. If Mac was to shoot it, what would you do, Christian? Just let him shoot it. Show me what would you do. Guard him, shoot it, go. Oh, he's been well coached, hasn't he? All right. So blocking out is the last part of on-ball defence. So watch again, shoot it, step in, block him out. Excellent stuff. Okay, and again, there's different techniques with blocking out. Some coaches like to do as Christian did, full turn, wrap his arms around, technically a foul if you grab somebody, okay? Or hands up, or just stepping in and stepping an arm bar into the player and seeing where the ball goes. Most kids, when it's shot, will just turn around and look and see where he goes, okay? So if he's been well coached, if you can get your players to step in and block out, again, that's one of those things, one of those fundamentals that an elite level coach will identify as someone they want on their team. When you talk about trying to pick a state team or a national team, players who instinctively block out are always considered a better player or more value than someone that doesn't block out. Okay, so if you can get that as the final part of your on-ball defence, then you're in pretty good shape. Okay, so that's on-ball defence. Any questions about that? No? All right, good. Give me two more players out here, please. One white, one blue. First two up. All right, he's in. I need a white now. See, I would have just flipped my top and still come out. That's all right. Okay, so you've got the ball out here, Mac. Christian, you're guarding him. Your name is?
Ari.
Ari?
AJ.
Ari and AJ. Okay, we'll see how I go. Ari and AJ. It's already too many for me to remember. All right, so now off-ball defence. So on the floor there's 4 players who are guarding a player who doesn't have the ball. Okay, and the rules for those 4 players they're all trying to do the same thing. Okay, their off-ball positioning should be determined by the same set of rules. Okay, so and in basketball there's some invisible lines that are used as points of reference. There's the line between the ball and the basket. That's a real important line, and you'll see as we talk about it more here. There's this imaginary line that runs down the middle of the court, referred to as the split line. There's the level of the ball, that is how far down the court, if we're going this way, the ball is. This imaginary line across the court here, if the ball's there, that's where the level of the ball is. So all these things come into play, and they're covered on the video. But if you're guarding someone who doesn't have the ball, the normal positioning that coaches would teach is that a player off the ball should be what we call a defensive triangle. Okay, and that triangle, the 3 points of that triangle are the defender, the player they're guarding, and the player who has the ball. They're the 3 points of the triangle. Okay, and as a general rule, the player who's guarding a player who doesn't have the ball should be around about halfway between the ball and the player that they're guarding. Okay, there's two main reasons for that. One is that Christian's got a pretty hard job here guarding Mac. So if Mac gets past him this way here, he plays the old under-12 defence of getting sideways beside him, that Ari can come across and help and stop that. Now if it's thrown to AJ, Ari can get back and guard his player. We call that help and recover. All right, so come back again here, put the ball here. So by being off towards the ball in a defensive triangle, Ari can be in a position to help. And what he can also do is he can stop AJ cutting between him and the ball. So if Ari was playing over here, like this, AJ might be able to cut between him and the ball and get the ball. All right, which is one of the kind of fundamental breakdowns of man-to-man defence. So by being off his man and towards his ball, if AJ tries to cut between him and the ball, he can move and maintain his triangle and stop him from getting between him and the ball. All right, go back there. The only way AJ can get past him is if his feet get past his feet. One of the ways that you stop that is by using an arm bar. Okay, you can legally make contact with another player on the court with this arm bar, as long as it's below this 90 degrees and it's in your cylinder. Like the referees are taught to think of everybody like a Coke can. If you stay in your Coke can, okay, and on the walls of your Coke can, you're in legal position. So if AJ, so I'm you now, if AJ tries to cut between me and the ball, I can legally hold my ground with that arm bar. Okay, you're a bit quick for me then, mate, all right. What I can't do, just a bit slower, is extend my arm out, okay, like that. But what I can do as he comes is I can hold my ground using this arm bar. And so I stop him getting his feet to my feet where he can get past me. Okay, and I think this is a real important thing to be able to teach young players, is to be able to use an arm bar to maintain good defensive position. So, here's our triangle. Players, give me 2 more players, please. I got one black, that's it. Oh man, you gave in. All right, number 7, you're over there. Yep, that's you. Show me where you'd be on defense if you're guarding him and the ball's here. Okay, good. So in in basketball terminology, AJ would be considered 1 pass away from the ball. Your name for now on is number 7. All right. Number 7 would be 2 passes away from the ball. Okay. Some of the things that you can do as a coach to make it more difficult for the team to pass the ball, you can play in what we call a closed stance. That is, you can play with a hand in this passing lane and putting more pressure on the pass, which makes it a bit more difficult to help, but makes it difficult for them to pass the ball. This is referred to as a closed stance. Or you can play in a position where the emphasis is more on help and you're not as interested in trying to stop passes around the key. That would be referred to as an open stance. So 1 pass away from the ball, closed stance or open stance. Generally, 2 passes away from the ball, players would always be in a open stance. Again, shoulders parallel to the passing lane. You can see the further a player gets away from the ball, the bigger their triangle is. Okay, and always trying to maintain this relationship of being able to just look straight ahead and being able to see the ball and the player they're guarding. Okay, so all 4 players off the ball should be trying to maintain that defensive triangle. Now, a problem occurs though when an offensive player cuts across that line between the ball and the basket. So if you just hop out the way, Ari. So if I'm guarding AJ here, I'm in a good defensive triangle, which will just walk through to the corner over there. I'm in a good triangle, good triangle, good triangle. All right, stop right there. So obviously now something's happened. I'm really out of position. All right, because now he can just be past the ball and he's closer to the basket than I am. So the point that I need to make an adjustment to my position is when I hit that line between the ball and the basket. Okay, so just make that cut again. So good triangle, he goes through there. I can either do what's called head snapping. Okay, and again, when I maintain this relationship of having my back facing the line between the ball and the basket, just do that again. Make that cut back up. So I can hit that line, I can do a head snap, do it again, or I can open to the ball and then maintain my position that way. Okay, and that's called opening to the ball. Do it again. Here, I hit that line, reverse pivot, pivot back again into an open stance. And that'll happen anywhere. The ball can be anywhere on the court. Anytime an offensive player crosses that line, that's the time when that defender needs to either open to the ball or head snap. Okay? And just come across here now. So we don't want to have this here where he gets between me and the ball. Okay, remember I said that's like a number 1 sin of off-ball defence. As he starts to come, I'm going to stay between him and the ball, so then he'll probably go behind me. When I hit that line, I reverse pivot back into a good defensive triangle with my back facing that line between the ball and the basket. Okay, and again, you decide whether you want to coach head snap or open to the ball. It's one of those things I used to argue about with coaches for many years. I don't care anymore. If you can do either well, it'll get the job done. All right, I've seen really good defenders do either. All right, probably the best defenders I've had have been open to the ball kind of people. Okay, because they always want to see where the ball is. But there's also plenty that like head snapping. Okay? All right. Now, just some general guidelines. Okay? Just come across more here, and you're going to see these on the video. If the ball, so let's divide the court into thirds, separated by this lane line here. Okay, the edge of the keyway. So we call this the right side, call the middle here the middle, and call the left side the left side, okay? We're going to give you some general guidelines of what's going to be acceptable off-ball position, all right? If the ball was over here and a player is on the right side and a player is guarding a player on the left side, the split line would be the normal coaching position that this player should be in. Okay, irrespective, I just walk up and down there, a bit quicker, irrespective of where he goes, all right, just come in a bit closer, all right, go back out to the wing out there, irrespective of where he goes, that split line is an acceptable position for this player to be in, all right. What is not acceptable is being on the lane line, okay, being right over here, okay. If your players are continually over here, when the person they're supposed to be guarding is over there, you're going to be considered to be zoning, okay, and you could come under scrutiny, okay. So the split line is acceptable, the lane line not acceptable when it's opposite sides, opposite thirds of the court. When the ball's in the middle of the court, just throw the ball to the middle here, what would be acceptable is to get to the lane line, have 1 foot on that lane line or 1 foot inside that lane line, but if both feet are inside the lane line, come in, and the other two defenders and all four players off the ball are inside the key, again, that's going to be considered zoning. All right, 1 foot inside the key would be acceptable. So Christian, just step one foot outside now. 1 foot outside, yeah, that would be acceptable. Putting everybody inside the key, though, is going to be considered zoning. Okay, so if you think about those thirds of the court, those lines there are good teaching points. Straddle that lane line when the ball's in the middle here. When it goes to the wing, throw it to the wing there. Split line for you. He's guarding someone in the middle third of the court now. He can get as close as he likes. He can get over here to the lane line. Okay, if this guy's in the middle. Now, if he was to move to the other side of the court, well, now he would have to get to the split line. Is that clear for everybody? All right. Okay, come back again. So that's off-ball defence, okay, and a player looking to cross that line between the ball and the basket. Some other scenarios that occur in games that you might have to deal with, post defence. So let's just say you go there and post up now. All right, again, the main point of reference here is this line between the ball and the basket, okay? A good offensive player will try and post up on that line, okay, because that's where it's most difficult for him to play on the side. If he plays on the side here and the ball's thrown to his right hand, well now his left hand, well now he's straight on the basket, whereas if he was down here, because of the angle involved, he'd have a chance of making a play on the pass now, and even if he caught it, he'd be able to quickly get around to a good on-ball position. Whereas if he's up here on that lane line, okay, and now the ball's passed here, a bit more difficult to get around quickly and guard it. So post defence is all about guarding, occupying this or owning this line between the ball and the basket. So if I was guarding you, what's your name?
AJ.
AJ, oh, you're AJ. G'day, AJ. All right, yeah. So if I was guarding AJ here and I was trying to play good post defence, the first thing that I'd try and do is just move him off that line. Use my legal arm bar and my legal superior weight, I wasn't going to say strength, but superior weight, to try and push him off that line so that I could own it. Now, if he was stronger than me and was pushing me down here, all right, mate, not so hard, down here, all right, now I'd have to make a decision about how I'm going to guard him. And you might decide you're going to play in front of him, okay, and make it difficult for him to get the ball because your other weak side defender should be on the split line there, and that's a pretty tough pass at any level of play to throw it over the top there. Or you might decide to just play behind on a player there. Again, your choice. But if you can teach players to own this split line either by arm barring up, all right, just try and come down now, just come, or pushing them behind and then pushing them off the line. Come on, mate, get into it. That's it. Like that, then you're doing a pretty good job with post defence. Obviously, in a game, if I was this tall trying to guard AJ, who's this tall, I might just say, get it, mate, and deal with me, okay? I'm not too worried about you getting it there, okay? If it was him guarding me, well, now he's in a little bit of trouble, okay? That's where he might decide to come around and play in front of me and make Mac try and throw it over his head, okay? So as the coach, you decide what you want to do with that post defence, but the line between the ball and the basket is the critical thing to take into account as with regard to what is the correct position or not. The other thing that you might be facing more and more is on-ball screens. Come and see an on-ball screen, Mac. All right, now, at the senior level, this is one of the big challenges for you strategically as a coach, is how to defend this. Okay, because at the senior level, a guy playing Mac's position can usually shoot the ball really well. If he's getting an on-ball screen, usually the three-point shot is a big threat. At the under 12 and under 14 level, the three-point shot is not such a big issue. Okay, but certainly at the senior level, it's a big issue. Also at the senior level, Mac might be my height, AJ might be 7 foot. You know, so you've got big differences in size that you've also got to kind of deal with. What I teach at my school, again, where I'm teaching with kids that predominantly are under 14, a couple of under 12s, but mainly under 14, is with on-ball screens, we defend it one of two ways. One is we switch it. Okay, so come out here. Ari? Yeah. Ari? Okay, where Ari would be saying to Christian, screen right. When Mac comes off it, he'd yell out, switch, and he would now take that player. Christian can either fight over the top and then get to a good off-ball position, come back to the screen. Or when he hears the switch, he can step under him and then Ari takes Mac and Christian switches on to AJ. Okay, so just a simple switch. Again, it could be over the top or underneath. One of the things that I found that is important to teach kids, so I'm new, go back and get the screen. All right, so set the screen here. Set the screen on him. Is this person who's switching, come off Mac, is to come off and switch aggressively onto the ball and get into that good on-ball defence position. What I found kids tend to do, just go back and set the screen again, is they'll stand back here, dribble off and call that switch, and this guy builds up momentum and gets some penetration. So being aggressive and out to the ball on the switch is a good tactic. If it's a big screening for a little, okay, so switch you'd predominantly use if the players are around about the same size or you weren't too concerned about mismatches, is you can step off. So you're the screener, Ari? AJ, oh, it's just, here we go. So you're screening Christian. Okay, so now we don't want to switch, so as that screen comes, you're going to step right off down here and tell Christian to get through it. All right, now Christian can go over the top of it or underneath it, but they're not going to switch. Okay, so what might happen here, I'm you now, Max, so set that screen, is as I come off, you just keep backing up, you're not going to take me, you eventually catch up and stick with me. All right, come back again. Go underneath it this time. So the screen's there, he goes under, still comes back and catches up to me, you stay off, come back again. Even if this guy comes off and starts to dribble into the paint, you're going to keep backing up, you're going to stay on the side and catch up, and you go back to your man. The only time he would take me is if I make a definite commitment to attack the basket. So the screen's set here, now I come off and with blinding speed I go at you. Now if you saw that, you would take him and you'd contest the layup. All right? That would be the only time you'd switch in that situation. With on-ball defence, one of the best things that you can teach kids is to get over those screens and not switch. Okay, and so you come and screen me now. I'm you now, up out the way. So my teammate says, screen right, get over. I'd immediately adjust my stance to make him use the screen go, and I go from a low stance to a high stance, back down to a low stance, and guard my player. All right, if you can teach your players that and try and emphasise that as they move up levels of play, if you've got perimeter guys who can get over screens, they're far more valuable than people who run into screens or prefer to switch and go underneath. Okay, so that's how I would defend screens in under 12s and under 14s on the ball. Off the ball screens, I've found if you're just teaching good defensive triangles off the ball, you'll get through off-ball screens without any problems, because honestly under 12s and under 14s do a real crummy job of setting screens off the ball anyway. Okay, so that's that. All right, give me two more blues. One more blue, one more white. Let's just go 5 on 5. Two more. One white, one blue. You're in charge? Yep, okay. All right, so let's have a look. Whites are on offense, blues are on defense. Give me a ball at the top here. You come at the top here, mate. You got the ball, throw the ball to him. Step out to the corner there. Step out to the corner, get to the wing there. So this would be your standard 5-out kind of alignment. Blues, show me where you'd be on defense if the ball was there. That's it, good talk. All right, so all 5 players off the ball in a good defensive triangle. Just move across to the wing here, mate. All right, we all... So a bit more about, remember, about halfway between him and the ball. Open stance, straddling that lane line, that's it, good. So this would be considered good man-to-man defence. Everybody put 2 feet inside the key now. All right, you'd be running the risk of zoning. 2 feet inside the key, mate. Inside the key, 2 feet, two. Inside the key, there you go. All right, okay. So this is where you'd run the risk. If it was continual, everyone just blocking it up, you'd be in danger of getting accused of playing a zone. If the ball's over there, show me where you should be. Where should everyone be? All right, pretty good. Split line, don't come over too far. 1 pass away from the ball, good triangle. He's in the middle third of the court. You can be straddling this lane line. Okay, pretty good. That's good man-to-man positioning. Come right over here. Come right over here. Both feet over here, outside the key. You're going to be accused of zoning. All right. Split line is where they should be getting to. Split line, lane line. Okay. All right. Let's just pass the ball around now a few times. When I call out play, I want whites to try and score. All right. Just pass it around. Pass it around. Adjust your position. Pass. Jump to the ball. Pass. Jump to the ball. That's it. Pass. Jump to the ball. Play. Try and score. 8, 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, black, your ball. That was pretty good defence by whites there. No breakdowns. All right, show me. So 5 out, down the corner there, 5 out. Pass it around until I call out go. Pass. You're not trying to steal it yet. Just pass it around, split line, good job. Pass. Pass. Lane line, that's it, good pass. Pass, split line, come right over, Mac. That's it, good. Pass, play ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, so the on-ball defender got beaten on. That's one of these sliding issues. If you can slide and hold their position a bit more. All right, that team's still got it. Here we go. Pass. We're not trying to steal it, whites, pass, move it, stop right there, stop there. Mac, get right across to that split line, right on this line here. So you should be able to look and see the basket down the other end. See the basket down the other end? Get your head in line with that basket. Is your head in line with it? Yeah, you sure? Perfectly in line? There's a little line painted there, it's about the middle of the court, that's it. Yeah, all right, sorry. All right, here you go, move it. Move it. Move it. Oh man, come on, move it. Play it. 8, 7. All right, stop. Go back to there. Go back to there where you were. Ari, what happened? What happened? What happened? Why did they get a good shot up then? AJ. I was talking to Ari, but just looking at you. Why did we only get a score? Oh man, too many names. You got blown by, okay? You got blown by. So when he started to drive, just go. So you needed to be able to come across here, okay? That was where the breakdown there was. If he did get past him, just stop right there. Stop. You've been on the split line here, seeing that, would now come across and try and help and stop that. All right, go back there. That's good help defence. If the ball went there and you're already standing here, that's zoning. Okay, if he's already over here when the ball gets there. Okay, it needs to be movement off that split line to come and help the penetration. All right, go back again. But again, being able to guard the ball is a really, really important thing to get your players to be able to do. Cannot emphasise that enough. I think we talk a lot about help and rotations off the ball defensively. Need to talk much more about being able to guard the ball. Okay, that's what the good elite defenders can do. All right, pass it around. Here we go. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Play it. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good job, AJ. Okay, switch it over. White's on offense. All right, pass it around. Pass, pass. Split line defense. Hold it. Stop, stop, stop. Put it back there. Were you the guy telling everybody where to go before? No. Was that you?
No.
I'm sure it was.
No.
Split line when the ball gets down here. All right, stance, move. Here you go. Pass. Pass. Quick, move it, move it, move it, move it. Play it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And everybody then, when that ball was shot, did what? Turn and watch it going through the air. Okay? All right. Now, next thing I want to look at is transition defence. Any questions on the half-court shot? Anything that I haven't covered yet that you're interested in? Just put your hand up if you have a question.
I've got a question. A lot of times last year I had a problem with the other team having one big guy just stay in the key.
Yep.
How can you avoid that?
Yeah, good question. She had a problem last year with the other team just having one big person stand inside the key. All right, so let's just say, Ari, you come here and play a post position here. You go to a wing over there. You just move over here. So you're up here now, mate. You're over here. Okay. So this would be a Whites matchup. Whites matchup. Match up, Whites. Get a player. Who's guarding him? You're on defence. You're guarding him. Triangles, triangles. Okay, so more a 4 out, 1 in alignment now. As this ball moves around the key, so throw it over here. Throw it over there. Show me where you should be, defence. Where should you be? Okay, so this is the big kid standing inside the key. All right, if this player here makes a cut, all right, and he just stays there, all right, that's when you've got to video and say that's playing a zone. All right, so if the player that he's meant to be guarding, okay, so you could, if there's someone over here, you could argue, well, he's guarding the player over here. If this player makes any sort of a cut and that player doesn't move, that's when you accuse the other team of zoning, and I think you'd be right. Okay, so whoever he's meant to be guarding, you need to get them to cut through the key to the other side of the floor. Because what should happen, just go back there, is as he cuts high, cut high, he should go with him, all right, and guard him. That's what should happen. He shouldn't be standing back inside the key there. Okay? So the answer is video and send in. Any other questions on just the basics of man-to-man positioning? Yes?
When you had them 5 out and the ball was at the top, the guy who was 2 passes away wasn't in the low hole. He was actually still outside here. Is that what we're promoting?
That's all right, yeah. Look, what we're saying is the most that they can come is that lane line. So go back to that 1, 2, 2. So give me a ball at the top here. So Jake, you're in the middle of the ball. Here, mate, right here. You guys are out in the corners there. So number 15 here, say for example, he doesn't have to be having 1 foot inside the lane, but what we're saying is just put 1 foot inside the lane, number 15. That's the most he can come across. Okay? You can't put both feet inside the lane now. We're saying if that's continual, okay, obviously in the gameplay there's going to be times when they're out of position, but that's continual where there's players just standing inside the key, irrespective of where the ball is, you are likely to be accused of playing zone, and maybe shown to be playing zone.
For many years, the ball's 2 passes away, you're in the low hole, and when you became 1 pass away, you moved into the gap. We're now promoting not to be in the low hole unless you're 3 passes away.
I don't know the low hole terminology, but just come back here, mate. You're saying the low post? Under the ring. Yeah. What we're saying is if he's out there, anyone in here, they're not playing good man-to-man defence. That they should be, if this was an NBL player here and an NBL player here, he's going to be playing here like that. And that's ultimately what we're trying to get to, is a point where the kids are playing instinctively where they should be. Now when they graduate to under 16s and now they've got kids who can shoot the ball really well from here, this is where this kid should be have been drilled to play from. if he's playing inside here, when the ball's out there, well, he's going to get killed as he moves up a higher level of play. He's going to be too far off the ball. Is that... Any other questions on that?
How do you distinguish, though, when you're dealing with 7, 8, 9-year-olds, the difference between them just not knowing it and getting it right to a coach in, like, trying to...
Again, that's the judgment. That if someone puts a complaint in, that's the judgment they'll have to make. It's like, look, clearly these are really young kids as compared to a team that's been coached to really overhelp. I think that's the judgment that people reviewing the tape would have to make. If you're coaching under 8s and under 10s, I think all you can hope to get them to do is think about being in a good triangle, okay, or just being ball side of the player that they're guarding. Okay, so if he's just ball side of the player he's guarding, he's in about the right position. Okay, but they should be able to identify the ball and the player. Okay, and that should be distinguishable on the tape that they're all trying to guard a player. Okay, but it's when it's clear that players have been coached to overhelp that I think you'll start to get yourself in hot water. Okay.
Just also let you know, we've had some complaint or issues or reports in our zone last year, and all the offensive team did was pass the ball around the circle, outside circle. And everyone just else just stood there. We can't judge out of playing zone. You have to send the cutter through. Once you send the cutter through, if they don't follow, there's an issue there. You understand that?
Yep. And that's shown pretty clearly on the video that you've got. One more thing I want to discuss is transition defence, because to me, you know, when you can see when these kids play half court 5-on-5, no one can score. All right, it's very difficult to score. But when you start to go up and down, people can score because all of a sudden layups come into play, quick transition layups. So if you can be a team that transitions quickly from offence to defence well, it's a good advantage for your team in under 12s and under 14s. Now, if the blue team dribble in and score a layup, or if the blue team travel and now it's the other team's ball from the side, usually they have got sufficient time to get to their matchups and the players that they should be guarding. It's when it's a quick transition, though, from offence to defence. So let's say you shoot it and it misses, and now you get the rebound, and now whites are off and going towards the basket. Just start walking super slow, whites. Blues start moving, coming back. All right, so stop right there. So now it's a quick transition, okay? And there's some little rules that you can put in place to enhance your chances of stopping them getting a layup, because that's the highest percentage shot, okay? Just go back to where we were when I said the ball was shot. And I'm just going to today just give you one thing that you might do, but I think as a coach it's really important that you think about what you are going to teach your players in a quick transition situation. And again, there's different philosophies about it. Let's just say Jake shot it from here. Any time the ball is shot, the 5 players on the court are going to be, they could be anywhere, but you can pretty well always be sure that one player is going to be closer to the other basket. All right? And there's probably, well, usually there's another player who's closest to the basket. So they're the 2 deepest players on the court. So right now, these 2 players here are the 2 deepest players on the court. They're the 2 closest to the other guy's basket. Jake, just cut to the basket. Go with him. Stop right there. Now these 2 players are the 2 deepest players on the court. All right? Cut to the basket. Come out this way. All right? Now if the ball was shot, these 2 would be the 2 deepest players on the court. So it doesn't matter what's going on. When the ball's shot, there's always going to be 2 players who are the deepest players on the court. They're the 2 that you want to emphasise and practice being your transition defence guys, the guys that are going to stop a fast break. So if Jake just shot it now, while the ball is going through the air, these 2 guys need to quickly assess the situation, okay? And what they should do is when Jake goes up to shoot, is quickly look and think, right, I'm one of the deepest guys on the court, you're thinking the same thing, and you 2 start heading back. All right, now, the priorities in a quick transition number one is to protect the basket. Okay, if you can stop them getting a layup, all right, then you've done a pretty good job. Okay, again, that's the one that always goes in or goes in a lot, is the layup. So these two need to have a quick conversation about who's going to get the basket. Have that quick conversation now. All right. That's as much as it takes. So you start heading back. The other guy is going to move to the middle of the court, and he's going to be ready to guard the ball. That's the next highest priority, is slow down the ball. So now if AJ starts dribbling it out of here, everyone else start moving down the court. Quicker, stop. So everyone else is getting back, keep going. You're going to go to the ball, even though that may not necessarily be your man, and try and slow him down. So clearly it's going to take longer for him to get the ball down here now by the defender coming to get him than it would be if you just ran all the way back. And now he's got no one sliding him down, he can run the ball up the floor quickly. Okay, so come back here again. So the two deepest players on the court, as you practice playing 5-on-5, they should be drilled on what I call dog and deep. The deep guy is going to protect the basket. The dog guy is coming in to try and slow down the ball. All right, so give the ball to Blues. So did you guys all get that then? Oh, handles, okay. So Blues, you're going to play 5-on-5 now. When I call out shoot it, I just want you to shoot it. Defence, I don't want you to block it. All right, I just want you to let them shoot it. Then Blues, I want you to get back on defence. Whoever the two deepest guys are on the court, you're going to start backpedaling and have a quick conversation about dog and deep. And the conversation needs to be as quick as, I got deep, you got the ball. Or I got the ball, you got back. That's as quick as it needs to be. Have you guys all got that? Whites, you're going to try and run the ball down their throats and score. Okay? Let's see what happens. All right, pass it around, Blues. Pass and cut through. Move, pass and cut. Don't forget our defensive triangles, you guys. Keep playing. Move. Come on, move. Cut. Shoot it. Stop. So, Christian, did that shot look really good? You look like you just were admiring it the whole way through. Okay, was it a good shot? So what should you have done when he was starting to shoot it?
Box it. Stepped in.
Back up. You, back up. Okay, you don't box out, you're on offence then. Okay, so you two should have been going back. All right, come back again. Come down, Blues. This time let's play. Like, I'm not going to just play where I call out shoot it though, we're going to shoot it. So Blues, you're trying to score. If you get a shot, no worries, go. Whites, if you get it, you're going. Here we go, move it. 8 in the shot clock. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Come back here. Go back to where you were when the ball was shot. What's your name? Ollie. What did you do, Ollie, when that ball was flying through the air?
I was just seeing if it was going in.
Yeah, seeing if it was going in. Okay. Did it go in?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm upset.
You're upset. Okay. So, as that was going through the air, what should you have been doing?
Going back.
Just backpedaling. Just run backwards. What should you have been doing? Backpedal to the middle of the court. Because you're going to dog the ball. You've got deep. Okay. Let's try it again. Whites, you go offense this time. You have a go. White ball. Ari, AJ, white ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it up. Dog and deep. Move, you two. You two just stood and watched. Okay, try again. White ball. This is my great coaching. Pass around. Pass. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my God. Get up. Dog and deep. Who's back? Stop the ball. Good job. Match up. All right, go down. Try and score. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it up. Dog and deep. Who's back? That's it. Good job, you two. That's all right. Stay there. They got it. All right, here we go. You're right. Get the ball. Good boy. That's it, match up, everybody else, quick. All right, good, good. Okay, hold it right there, hold it right there. Does everyone get the idea with that? The next priorities after the basket and the ball are players one pass away from the ball. Okay, so in super slow-mo now, if this was thrown and Ari stole it, everyone start walking back on where they think they'd be going. All right, so you're going to call out, I got the ball. AJ, I got the ball. That's you. I got the basket. Everybody, keep coming. Start bringing it down now. So now we're looking for players. All right, stop right there. Stop right there. We're looking for players one pass away from the ball. He's one pass away from the ball. Who's guarding him? You need to come up to him. He's one pass away. Okay? Just keep walking this way. The ball's on this side of the floor. Keep coming, keep coming. So the ball players over this side are the priority. Now, run down there and touch the foul line, then come back again. Run down and touch the foul line. Yeah, then come back. All right, keep coming. All right, so he's the last player down the court. Hold up, hold up. So now we've got a situation where we've got odd numbers. People are still coming. So what would you do now? You've got to guard the basket still. All right? One pass away from the ball. You'd cheat into him a little bit. All right? There's two people here. You've got to get to two. All right? Let's just say the ball was thrown over here now. Take 3 more steps. Stop. Okay. You've got to come over here now and guard him. He's one pass away from the ball. You've got him. You'd be on the split line here. Come down now. Keep coming. All right, stop right there. The last player down the court will just about always go opposite the ball. Okay, they would never come to the ball side, always opposite the ball in a quick transition defence situation. All right, again, I emphasise a quick transition where, the ball's, been rebounded and they're running it down your throat. It's been stolen and it's run down their throat. Someone's gone in to shoot a layup, they've missed, they've fallen over, so they're the last player down the court. They should always, as they're coming down here, as they're assessing the situation, like he might be guarding Christian, but he can see Max got Christian now, so he should look and see where's the open player. And if everyone else has done their roles properly, that open player will be on the other side of the court. Okay, because what you see a lot is he thinks, I'm guarding Christian, so he runs to Christian. No one's got Max man though. All right, Max taken him. Now he gets here and says, thanks Max, go and find your man now. And meanwhile, Max man gets a layup down the other side of the floor there. Okay, so in a quick transition situation, it's priorities. It's not I'm guarding number 10, I'm guarding number 8. It's protect the basket, slow down the ball, and get players one pass away from the ball. And I think even after just a couple of minutes there they kind of started to get the dog and deep concept. And I think with under 12s and under 14s, that's if you can get that done and do a good job of being a good transition defensive team, you can really take away a lot of points that the other team can generate against you. Okay? Any questions? Everyone's looking at the clock, aren't they? All right. Yes, stop that clock for us, mate, please. Yep. The question is, with under 12s, they only get half the court to practice on. So how do they fix that? They lobby their club to perhaps have another under 12 team at the other end, so you can scrimmage against them the last 5 minutes of practice. That's what I would do. Okay, or I'd lobby to get this half of the court. You take that half for 5 or 10 minutes and give them that half of the court. Okay, so you can practice 5-on-5 play. It's really, I know a lot of people face the same problems where they only get half a court to practice on. It's a full court game. You need to convince your club of at least putting a team at the other end that you can scrimmage against for a period of time in practice, so you get to practice that 5-on-5 play. Okay. Any other questions? All right, can everyone give these kids a round of applause, please? Good job, boys. Take a seat. All right, good. A well-coached group of players there. Good job. What we didn't get to cover today was some drills that you can use to teach man-to-man defence. As I said, I have a website, allstarcoaching.com.au. There's about 80 different videos on there that I've produced using my kids at Templestowe College. and it's all free. Does I think to go in and have a look and get to those videos. The videos that I would recommend you look at, one is called 2-on-2 Continuous, okay, and you can cover basically just about every on-ball and off-ball scenario that occurs in that drill, that 2-on-2 continuous drill. The shell drill, okay, is the stock standard drill that's used for covering most aspects of half-court man-to-man defence. And there's a couple of videos there on run and jump defence, which is full-court pressure defence that under 12s and under 14s are more than capable of being able to pick up. Okay, and thanks everyone for coming out today. I know it's Sunday, Arvo and all that. You know, you guys are coaching in one of the best junior competitions in the world, believe it or not. All right, I really believe that the Friday night competition in Melbourne, Victoria, is a very, very good competition. You know, it's no coincidence that, you know, our Victorians have gone on to the NBA, have come through this league. So, you know, again, I congratulate on your time. Try and find a way of teaching good man-to-man defence. Don't try and find a way around the rules of trying to, how can I get around this, having to get to the split line or the lane line. Just teach good man-to-man defence, and it's a beautiful thing to have players who, at a young age, like those guys, who understand where they should be and how and the stance and those kind of things. The on-ball defence is critical. Being able to maintain chest to chest while playing touch distance away and being able to move laterally is a real important thing that you need to devote time to. With that little drill that I showed you, you can have kids in pairs all over the court practicing that. Most courts, you know, this court's unusual because it's only got basketball lines on it, but I'm sure a lot of you practice on courts that have got netball and badminton lines. Anywhere there's a 90-degree angle, you can practice that footwork drill and the swinging of the hands. Again, it's one of those things that I think is under-taught that is highly important as players move up levels of play. Okay? So again, thanks for your time today. Good luck with it. I hope you got something out of it.